Not weighing yourself down anymore.
No, I've got my. Two bottle cages, and I can carry 2 bottles in the back of my jersey. And that, I mean, I have big bottles. It's like 96 ounces.
Yeah, I've got my own.
I remember, yeah. Get out on the trails, you know.
Yeah, actually, I went through one trail that was over Universalist. It's actually closer to the road. It's going to be yeah, I don't want to throw my bike in the car. Just get on my bike and ride.
Yeah.
Because usually I only have so much time to do it.
Yeah, I get it. And that's another reason. There are groups. Or someplace that I have with it.
I used to buy over there.
Oh yeah.
That is trails and
man reservation.
Yeah, and no attic goes right in there. Actually,
right.
Big long ride.
Yeah, I've done that. It's a bunch of stuff.
This is a beautiful road. I'm so excited. You can just turn directly to this.
That's all isolated, right? And so they climb up and the doors in the building.
That's exactly the same way my neighbors do. And they have the exact same problems. Remember, they concrete up on the roof and the custodians like taking pictures of it and yelling at it, and they call the police, and the police come and put their gun and whatever.
Only like they get over and they went into the school and a custodian was found out and called the police. They didn't. And we found out about it because Nate texted us. It's like, Dad, the police are here. They're upset. I was just like, they were like, can you come down? And I was like, oh, Jess and I went down. And it was a good cop and it was a bad cop. And yeah, it was.
And what ended up happening?
Nothing. He was scandalized by it. He was like, is this going to be like that's what they were talking about.
How old is he? He's 15. I think that these were older kids that that's a good experience for him. This is reality. You think that, oh, this is just one game, and all of a sudden it's not, right?
And suddenly you've got a record.
Right.
Fortunately, it doesn't. Oh, sure.
But that's what I mean. Consequences. Makes you think twice.
So this was Pat's famous.
He and his buddies was kind of broken in the medical state.
Yeah.
And nobody ever came. Nobody likes
I know this. I mean,
I don't think you can do that now.
it's all good.
Yeah, it's all separate now. Yeah, and they've done a bunch of stuff. They shot films over there, Shutter on shot over there.
Wait.
And, yeah, but I don't know.
Sounds good. Gotta be relaxed.
That's right.
Actually, you know what? We'll do the same thing.
How was your last weekend?
It was nice.
Yeah?
Actually, the weather was fine. We got a non-flooded campsite and a lot of kayaking.
Whole family?
Is it?
Whole family?
Yeah.
Sweet. Good to be outside. It was beautiful last weekend, right?
It was beautiful.
Last weekend, right? I'm forgetting.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the hurricane.
Oh,
It was like a little
right.
breezy for half a second. It was fine.
Wow, that's great. I guess the idea of going during hurricane probably made you a little nervous. But
Yeah, well, so we have this plan for a long time. We have this one campsite that we always go to, and the path to it was flooded.
where is this?
In Toledo. And there's like they're advising us. They're like, I don't think you should do it. It should be too pain to get to it. And they're like, but some people just canceled this other campsite, and it was beautiful.
You didn't want to kayak to your campsite.
That was what we would have had to
Funny.
help canoe to get all the stuff.
That'd be hysterical.
It's not super appealing.
What? Sounds like a fun adventure to me.
I know. It's, in fact, when Rachel was like, "Oh, so guys, we're not sure how things are going to go. Well, we have to canoe all the stuff over." It was like, "Yes, I can really
Put me in the boat.
Except they hate canoes. They think canoes are too big.
Oh, I agree.
That's why
I agree
There's a little
100%.
difference, but now I know.
Big difference.
Yeah, really.
Kayaks, you go boop, 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 with like what a dual.
You could never kayak to get in a kayak. So.
Yeah, a canoe you got to be like there's only one paddle. You got to have at least two people, and
But like, then they're much tippier. They're just
the kayaks are smaller and you're close to the water. Canoes are longer and taller, and you're like sitting like in a chair.
Yeah, instead of off.
Yeah.
Basically, they're sitting on the water almost. I'm not going to do any of those activities, so I'm doing them. As I get older,
You're not coming with us today in the rain.
Okay. Are you like too tall for a lot of kayaks though? I wonder.
No, God.
No, 'cause I feel tall for a lot.
How could you say that? Limit my kayaking capacity.
Maybe it's just because we are so familiar with the kid kayaks.
And when you can have a heart
I was in nerds.
Yeah,
The basic answer.
but that's just like most people have that experience at school and they never see it again. It's not something that's done for society. Yeah, probably. Where was that?
It was last year, like
Good morning. I'm Amy Dalrymple. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a member of this congregation and also a worship associate at the Unitarian Universalist area church at First Parish in Sherborn. Welcome to this loving community. Come in bringing all of who you are. We gather in worship, our hearts alive with hope that here we will be truly seen. Turn down the volume on your fears and loosen the armor around your heart. May we root ourselves in the values of this faith: acceptance and encouragement, compassion and transcendence, justice and transformation. We strive not for perfection, but for authenticity and connection. We come here to learn about being in relationship with each other, to listen, to forgive, to be vulnerable, to create trust and compassion for one another. We are gathered here to walk each other home. Be here in this moment. Let go. Breathe.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
First and foremost, we're going to wave to the camera that Indy's got over there, to all of our folks watching from their respective devices. Good morning. We almost have joy at getting this stuff fixed. I've had to pull out the more firm, direct Reverend Nathan side of the company, and it worked. So we should get some movement on that at last. Fingers crossed. Super important announcement today. It is Reverend Joe's birthday.
Woo! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe. Happy birthday to you.
Just give that over to me, Julia. And if you just came in, you're like, what's going on here? It is a worship service. We have a little birthday stuff to do for you. So a few other announcements. If you're new and you're wondering how to get one of the ministers to share prayers during the service, just right over there behind the sign. So please do that sometime before the prayer time. We would love to have you sign up if you'd like to bring beautiful flowers as you right did today for worship, and also to sign up to light our chalice, young people, and we do the best job in church, ringing the bell. So all of those are right over there. Everyone, what did I say? Over there. Yes. After worship today, I'm starting every month. We're going to do this thing called Drop-In Covenant Group. And we're talking about the worship theme this month, which is voice. It's going to be in the library, the newly appointed beautiful library, just for an hour, 12 to 1, time for reflection, stillness, and sharing. And it'll be good. It'll be once a month. Next Sunday, October 1st, we're already in October. How did that happen? A couple things. One is our poet in residence, Jamil Adams, will be sharing worship with us. Many of us know Jamil. He's fantastic. If you haven't been here, he's awesome. And it's also inviting us to bring a friend with you to our community. I read a recent article that sort of talked about banning the word visitor to churches. Visitor implies that they come and then, it's time for you to go. Right? That's what visitors are. We're just going to say, bring a newcomer, bring a friend, and help them show them how great this place is. So that's happening next Sunday with Jamil. And last thing, my men's group that we did last year started again the first Tuesday in October, which is October 3rd, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Men in the room, male identified people. When is it?
Tuesday, October 3rd.
October 3rd, 7 p.m. Exactly. You don't have to let me know you're coming. Just come, put down the sports TV, all that good stuff. Just be together as guys in a circle. All right, guys. That's it. Let's welcome our friends and neighbors in the pews.
Morning, Tom.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning. Such a sweet birthday wish. That was lovely. Our opening words this morning are from Reverend Kristen Harper, who serves our congregation out on the Canadian Barnstool. We have a printed program for their service there and there. One is maybe up on the screen someday soon. I invite you to join me in these words responsibly as we welcome each other to this sacred space. Each day provides us with an opportunity to love again, to hurt again, to embrace joy, to experience unease, to discover the tragic.
Each day provides us with an opportunity to live.
This day is no different, this hour no more unique than the last, except
maybe today, maybe now, among friends and fellow journeyers.
Maybe for the first time, maybe silently.
We can share ourselves.
And in that spirit, we'll sing our opening hymn, the hymn of welcome. It's familiar to many of us, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. It's in your great hymnals, it's number 188. But we're singing an extra special version of it today. So the lyrics we have in our hymnal are kind of an interpretive version of some of Rumi's lyrics. But our music director, Sarah, has taken some of the more literal translation of the poem and set them to a descant. So Sarah, will you tell us about how we're going to sing this hymn this morning?
I sure will. Thank you. So the choir is, thank you for standing. Eyes, light, spirit, it's your voices. The choir is going to sing the new part that has all the words. And so you can just listen to that first, and then read up here, and Tom will come and then we'll lead you in singing the part that you know well, I'm sure, that is in the hymnal. And then we'll put them together. It's all you have to do is sing the voice song.
Let us remain seated as Billy Southwell's like to light our chalice and say together an affirmation. Both are expressions of our life and our faith here in this congregation. And let us say together,
Love is the spirit of this church, and the service is law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. All that dwell below the stars, let songs of hope and faith arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sown. Through every land, by every tongue.
thank you. Please be seated. And any younger ones and less than young ones like to come up for Wonderbox time, we'd love to have you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. How's it going? So we have a guest Wonderbox deliverer today. I'm just gonna be his like prop person. And his name is Doug. Can you all say all at once, hi, Doug? Hi, Doug. So Doug has many important jobs at church. Maybe one of them is moderator. She kind of like at the annual meeting sort of keeps things moving along. So we can also call him hi, Mr. Moderator.
Hi, Mr. Moderator.
But today, he's got an amazing story to tell. And without further ado, Doug, let's just dive into it. And then we're going to share some props along the way. Yeah?
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Nathan. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see you all this morning. So I do have a very exciting story that happened, and it starts about the time of the Pilgrims. Do you all remember the Pilgrims and where they landed in Plymouth?
I mean, were you there?
Was anyone there? Raise your hand if you were there. No? I think Nathan might have been there.
I mean, yeah. I've seen my airline receiving. It's true.
Well, shortly after the Pilgrims came to Plymouth, this town of Sherborn was settled, that people started to live in this town. It was way back in the year 1652, a long time ago. And most of the people who lived right around this church at the time were Native Americans from the Massachusetts tribe. You may have heard of them.
That's how we have the state's name, Massachusetts. So the Massachusetts tribe. All right. So I'm going to keep interrupting you. Keep going.
Please do.
Okay.
Now, there were two white English men at the time in Massachusetts who cared a lot about Native Americans. They wanted to help them learn the Bible and convert to Christianity and learn the English ways of life. Now, before I tell you who these two men were, I will say they were very good men, but at the time, they and many others thought there was only one way to be good citizens and to find your way to heaven, and that was through Christianity. And we know now that's not the only way, right? But that's what they thought then, and they wanted to share that with Native Americans. So one of these men was named John Eliot.
Do we have a prop?
We have a prop.
Did you get a prop at Staples yesterday?
I did, yes. And this is an actual picture of John Eliot. So we're going to show him to you. if Nathan can find him and pick out the right picture.
Okay, who wants to help me hold this high? All right, first hand, yeah. Stand up. You want to look at him first? Did it freak you out? Yeah. Hold it high.
Hold it high. So the men looked different back then, but that's a picture of John Eliot in his prime.
It sounds like you made a rock.
He could be, maybe he was. We might never know that. But what he was a minister, just like Nathan.
And Joe.
And Joe,
Yeah.
exactly. There was another man at the time, and his name was Daniel Gookin. We're going to get a picture of him.
And you know volunteer? Turn around, hold high. Shut the camera over there.
Now that's not actually a picture of Daniel Gookin because we don't have one, but that's kind of what we think he would look like.
Because they didn't have Instagram.
They definitely did not. They didn't have picture profiles. So Daniel Gookin was a government official. Now the Indians that they worked with wanted to practice Christianity, and they were called praying Indians. And Mr. Gookin and Mr. Eliot, that you see here, helped them set up their own villages all over Massachusetts, where they blended the English word of the Bible with their Indian ways of life. Now, the first and most famous of these villages was right down the street, 3 miles away, in what is now South Natick on Route 16.
So, right there by the waterfall, the dam, right? Right in that corner, right, Doug?
That's correct. And there's still a church there.
Elliott Church.
Elliott Church.
Where did it get its name from, Doug?
The church got its name from that man right there, John Eliot.
Can you tell we rehearsed this? Like, we're just like fire on all cylinders. All right, Doug.
The street that goes from here to there is called Elliott Street. Where did that street get its name?
I actually didn't know that.
You didn't. Now you do.
There you go.
Even our minister can learn something from this conversation. Now, John Eliot had one problem. And that problem was the Bible was in English, and this was not the language of the Native Americans. So how could he teach these Indians the Bible if they didn't speak English? Can you think of any ideas? What would you do? Yes. Hand movement, like in sign language. That's a really good idea. That's one way. Any other suggestions, please?
They teach them English.
They would teach the Native Americans English. That's also a really good idea. Yes.
The Indians could teach him in Indian so that he could tell the Bible to them in Indian, maybe?
These are awesome ideas. Okay, 2 more.
This idea is back up into the last one. It's basically like translating the Bible into Indian.
Wow. You children are so smart. I can't believe how smart you are. Do you have an idea?
I think you could just make a different Bible and make it Native American language.
You are so smart, and you are exactly right. That's what happened. John Eliot found a friend who was a Native American, and his friend was named Job Nesutan, and he was a praying Indian from Natick. And Job helped John Eliot translate and develop and make a new Bible in the Native American language. Now, they needed to print this Bible, and at the time, printing was really hard, and it took a long time, so they found another Native American. Can we hold up Job? I'm sorry, I skipped over. We have an imaginary picture of Job. This isn't an actual picture of Job, because we don't have a picture of Job. Wow, we have a lot of people that want to hold up. Okay, so this is what Job may have looked like. This is a modern picture of a praying Indian. So can you hold it up so everyone can see? And Job helped John Eliot translate the Bible into the Native American language. Now, there was another Native American friend that John Eliot had, and his name is James Printer. And James Printer helped him print the Bible. Do we have another volunteer? Rosie's right. So please hold it up. And this is a imaginary picture of James Printer. Now, translating and printing the Bible took a long time. Can anyone guess how long it might have taken? Yes. How long it took to translate and print the Bible? 10 years. Wow, you are really close. It took 14 years. But they did it, and they finished it in 1663, which was 360 years ago. And do you know that that was the very first Bible printed in the United States? And it remains the most famous Bible in this country today. Now, not long after that Bible came out, something terrible happened. There was a war between the English and the Native Americans. It was called King Philip's War, and thousands of people were killed and whole towns were burned. Towns right around us, Medfield was burned right down the street. And sadly, the praying Indians were caught in the middle of this war. They were caught between two worlds, between the English and the Indians. The praying Indians did not want to fight, but they were rounded up and taken away from their villages and shipped to an island in Boston Harbor, where many of them would starve and die from the cold winter that winter.
What was the island called, Doug?
It was called Deer Island, and it
Deer
still
Island.
exists today. You can go up to that island. The other big bad thing that happened during this war is that all of those wonderful Indian Bibles, or almost all of them, that spent 14 years to make, were mostly destroyed. But a few good things happened during the war. After the war, the praying Indians survived. Those who did survive came back, and some of them settled again right here in Natick. As you can imagine, it was very difficult for them because they lost family members and they had to rebuild their lives. But at about this same time, our church was founded. And do you remember that man named Daniel Buchan, who we talked about earlier? Can we hold his picture high? There's Daniel Buchan.
Sort of.
That man who was so helpful to the praying Indians. Well, he had a little boy who had grown up to become a minister, just like Nathan.
And Reverend Joe.
And Reverend Joe. And that little boy became the first minister of our church.
And everybody, whose headstone is all the way in the back of the church? All the way back there.
See it? Right in the back corner? That's his headstone, his gravestone. When he died, we still have it.
It's also the password for like Wi-Fi.
Exactly. I remember where it came from. And because Daniel Buchan, this is now his son and his father looked exactly alike. So now Daniel Buchan, the son, because he shared his father's affection for the praying Indians, do you know that he would walk one Sunday every month down to Natick, 3 miles, and preach to those praying Indians? And many members of our congregation would join him and walk and meet with the praying Indians. And they probably used that first Indian Bible that we talked about. And guess what? Guess what? Our church happens to have a page from that very first Bible. Can you believe it? Have any of you seen that page? No one? Well, you're going to see it right now. Nathan, can you show them the page? There it is. And it's hanging in the library, and you should go and read it because you'll see the Native American language right in that very page. And that page is actually from 1680. That's the second edition, but that's still right before our church was founded in 1685. And there's a background history in that plaque of how that came to be as well. And guess what again? There's another really cool thing. Thank you, Nathan. There are many praying Indians from Natick who still live as our neighbors today. And 4 of them came to visit us at church last week. And they got to see that Bible page that their ancestors learned from and that they, to this day, hold sacred. We felt a deep connection to them since our first minister preached to them, and they felt a deep connection to us since our church is on their ancestral land. It was very moving for all of us, and we want to keep in touch with them. We want to learn more about each other, and we want to share our stories together and become really good friends. That's my story, Nathan. Thank you.
So today, for our Faith and Mission classes, we're going to have a little bit different thing going on, which is cool. We're establishing the fairy garden outside under that big, beautiful tree whose species I don't know about, but it's around a white picket fence you can see. So I'd love for the young ones to bring their jacket if they have them, and to follow Julia and our other teachers to make it all happen. Anything else you want to say?
We're going to dismiss everybody to their normal classes where they're going to do check-ins and get to spend some time with their teachers, and then the pre-K to first grade group will start the exodus out. We'll stop at all the classrooms and get everybody, and we'll all go outside together. And then you can meet your kids either back downstairs in the coffee hour if they're old enough, or else they'll be dismissed to you back in the classrooms.
Let's sing the note.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Invite us into a time to center our hearts, to listen to the still small voice within each of us. So if you'd like to get more centered in your seat, however that feels comfortable for you, perhaps sitting up in a way that your body is supported and feet on the floor, perhaps taking a fuller breath, perhaps just arriving in this moment, in this time, in this place. We begin with our musical call to prayer. In the waters we are one, before a time of prayer in words and in silence.
In the waters we are one. In the waters we are one. In the waters we are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. In the waters we are one. In the waters we are one. In the waters we are one. We are one. We are one. We are one.
We know that whenever we gather as a community, we